spacious, beautiful venue with plenty of parking, located in the heart of East Memphis. Let us host your next intimate birthday gathering, family repast, bachelorette party, wedding and reception, baby shower, corporate meeting, social club event. Call us today. Don't wait. 901-244-6874. The all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center.
Good evening. Welcome to Couch Convo with Coach Karla. I'm your host, Coach Karla. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. As you see, I have a very special guest. Her name is Miss Ina Esco. Welcome, Miss Ina.
Hi, Karla.
Child, we got one of the heavy hitters in here tonight. And the reason why we're having special guests this month is because this is the 3rd anniversary of Couch Convo with Coach Karla being on radio or TV.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so Miss Ina is one of the personalities that I've learned from and been to her podcast classes. Let me give her formal introduction so that everybody knows. Ina Esco has been in the radio business for over 2 decades, that's a long time, and has worked in various roles such as producer, voiceover talent, morning show co-host, and midday and weekend talent. Most recently, Ina has rejoined iHeartMedia as co-host on the Mike Evans Memphis Morning Show on V101 FM. Through her gift of communication, Ina created a platform to spotlight the people and stories of those who are at the forefront of ushering in a new era in Memphis. In January of 2018, Ina started Verbally Effective, which is a topical interview-style podcast that intersects art, culture, politics, and entertainment. She also has an association or a streaming platform with WYXR 91.7 FM every Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m. Central. She is also the innovator in residence at the historic Cossack Library located in downtown Memphis. I've been there several times, thanks to Miss Ina, child. Okay, so we're just going to get right into it. Again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
So my audience knows that I recently started a segment called What's Coach Karla Been Up To?
What you been doing, girl?
Woo, it's just been so much. So just to get you up to speed, I did, and I told my audience last week, I did travel to Nashville to memorialize a very popular singer, Mandisa, but I was personal friends with her.
Really?
We went to Fisk University together, and we were Fisk Jubilee singers together.
Really?
Yeah, so I think that myself as well as the other Jubilee singers are still, gathering ourselves mentally and trying to get back into the groove. But we had to spring into action when we found out what happened.
That was such a shock.
It was. And so I'm still praying for the Fisk family. And Miss Ina went to a historically black college.
I did.
So she understands the tight-knit, the way that, historically black college is really, there aren't words to describe the family atmosphere.
That's true.
That happens. And so we're like brothers and sisters. And then you add in Fisk Jubilee singers for 4 years, you're family. So, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know you could sing, Karla.
Oh, I do everything.
Okay.
There's nothing that I don't do. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, I can sing.
You know Dr. Vernell Bennett Ferris? I think she was
Yes,
a Fisk Jubilee singer. She
yes.
told me that on the podcast.
Yes, and actually, so I work with the Memphis Black Arts Alliance, and we normally sing with the Christmas program with the Memphis Symphony Chorus. Okay, so she led a solo the past 2 Christmases, and so that was how I had a chance to get to meet her because I sang with the group as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I remember her saying it.
Yeah, and she was a Fisk Jubilee singer.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So some of the other things that I've been up to, we were talking about Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to let Ina share what she did, but child, I got on the gospel bus, the all gospel bus on Cinco de Mayo. Now, you know, we had already bought the tickets and everything, and it was forecasting rain, but we were hoping, you know, that it wouldn't rain on us. We had fun. We had the tambourine going, the gospel music going, but it did start pouring down rain.
It did. It didn't stop anything, though.
Right, we were out there, but child, when I tell you, when we got to that stop, I got on off that bus because, baby, I was drenched. But it was a good experience, though.
Yeah.
It was a really good experience. So tell us about your Cinco de Mayo.
Well, I actually went to a children's birthday party / Cinco de Mayo party.
Okay.
So I brought my son with me, my 10-year-old son, Eli. And it was a celebration. It was a lot of different food because the two families were Cambodian and Dominican.
Oh, okay.
So that was such a treat to, you know, just be around those two cultures. A lot of dancing, a lot of food. And the day prior to Cinco de Mayo, we went to a Cambodian festival that they invited us to.
Okay.
So we're talking about going to their temple in East Memphis, seeing the monks from all over the world there to bless the temple.
Are you serious?
It was an experience.
Oh my gosh, that is so interesting.
Yes.
Wow.
Very. So we had a great weekend in Cinco de Mayo.
Okay. So was the food spicy? What was the food? Okay.
So I like crawfish. My folks from Louisiana and Texas, and I'm a huge crawfish lover. And they had curry crawfish. I've never had curry crawfish.
Yeah.
But everything wasn't spicy though. They had like a certain type of Lao sausage with, I guess the ingredient that was different was lemongrass. Was in quite a bit of different things. Which I never had before, but it's like a texture to it. Okay. But we had egg rolls, like beef kebabs, Asian chicken wings. We had a lot.
Yeah.
Me and my son like to eat.
Yeah, I like Asian chicken wings. It was something else that you said that sounded good, but
meatballs on a stick too.
Okay.
With these different sauces. It's so good, like sweet, tangy type sauces. We had a good time.
That's good. And I'm the type of person, I like to try new things. I feel like that's why we came here, try it, child. See what it's like. I know what you said. You said curry crawfish, and I'm like, now I've had crawfish, and crawfish is spicy. So if I'm like, you add curry to it.
Curry has a spice to it. So curry is a different spice than that Louisiana type boil spice.
Okay, yeah.
But it hits. It's hidden.
I can see that.
Popping.
I can see that.
It was good.
Okay. So I guess, did they share any of their, you said the monks came from all over. Did they share their spiritual traditions? Like, what was that like?
Okay, so that was my first time seeing monks from the Asian part of the world in person, right?
Yeah.
So when we saw them standing at the temple, I was telling my son, we need to go and get some video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I saw everybody else like with their cameras out, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to see up close. So it was different because they were kind of like exclusive, like they really wasn't looking at the crowd, and it was like they were kind of shying away. But they were there solely to bless that temple, and they had to do it at every perimeter of the building.
Okay.
So they were there for business.
They were there for business, child. Okay.
Yes, but I've never seen anything like it. It was an experience.
I've never seen monks in person, so that's why when you said that, I was like,
So my son had a million questions. He was like, what's the difference between a Cambodian monk and a Christian monk? So we had a little lesson going on too.
Now he was asking them,
he
or
asking
you?
Me.
Like, child, I don't know. We have to find out, child. I don't know.
Sure. I think it's more so of what they believe in, right?
Yeah.
Because I grew up Catholic.
Okay.
So as far as Catholicism and being a Christian and things like that, I can speak on that, right? But as far as the Cambodian monks, I couldn't really speak on that. But I know they believe in a higher God. Right.
Yeah. And, you mentioned Catholicism, just sharing with the audience, a lot of people just assume that because I'm a black girl in the South, that, all I know is Baptist. But because I was a part of the Fish Jubilee Singers, we traveled all over the country, and we also went to Italy. But that gave me exposure to different Methodists, African Methodists, Episcopalian, just name it. And we got that exposure. So
Opens your eyes.
Yeah. Everybody didn't grow up the same.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So also this past weekend, I had a chance to participate in the Sister in Success conference. And as always, it was good. Of course, my audience knows that Melody Hubbard Robinson was here to share about the conference and to give everybody a preview. And it was everything she said it was going to be. The cuisine was excellent. The decorations were on point. She does the pink and green, her signature colors. And put that down. And one of the things that I really appreciated that she did this year was she did a special award. I think it was called the Sister in Success Award. And she gave it posthumously to Marlena Burton Ferris. And a lot of us knew her from being in the community. She was a life coach, and she had, I believe she had books, but one of the most recent things that she had was affirmation cards. And I happened to be around when she had a chance to share those with Tabitha Brown, because we were at that vegan festival together. Yeah. So that, I won't say that would have been the last time that I saw her. But the award was presented. Her daughter was there to receive it, and so I really appreciated that part of the conference. Of course, vendors were there. I'm terrible with names, so I don't want to start naming vendors, but I did get a chance to buy one of those portable fans that you hang around your neck. And I did the VIP. Y'all know I like to do VIP sometimes. So we had a really nice gift bag. And I know Pink Noir was one of the sponsors. Now, I'm also going to mention that I gave away to each VIP a copy of my book, Learning to Love Me, which I hope that they enjoy, child, because I've never given away 20 copies of my book. But, God put it on my heart, and I wrapped it all cute in a little red and white envelopes. And so we know that when we give, it comes right on back to us, child. Amen. Sometimes it comes back immediately before we can get it out of our hand good.
Okay. That's the
So I was telling Ina that she really needs to get into the Sister in Success conference. Now, I've met people at Sister in Success and still have relationships with them. It's just good to see people be able to get that hug, especially after the pandemic. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, we've been through with that. Child, I feel like I'm still coming out of it. I don't know how y'all feel.
You know what? Like, I understand what you're saying, because I have a little anxiety.
I do too.
Now, getting out the house and going to events.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to stay. I just want to be there for a minute and then get on down.
Well, I'm just going to be honest. I want to put that mask on, but I don't want to be off-putting to other people. And then I ain't going to...
It's like a conflict.
It is. And in therapy, they call it double dip feelings, anxiety, but also having a desire to commune with others. So it is. But I feel like I'm getting better as I continue to go to events, and I don't think anybody can tell by looking at me that I feel like that. So I think that's good. But y'all let me know if y'all picked up on me being anxious, child. But I don't like people breathing on me, period. Now I'm just going to be honest with you.
Breathing on you.
If you
just a little about 3 feet.
Yeah. And I mean, I was like that before the pandemic. But it's worse now because I feel like, hey, I don't know what you're breathing on me or whatever. But anyway.
Then you're a celebrity, so people are gonna come. People that you don't know are gonna come.
Who is a celebrity? Who is a celebrity, child? I don't know about all that there.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you know what? Since you said that, do you know about the Von Lane bus?
No, tell me.
Listen, I can't help it. because a lot of y'all don't know. And then people think I know secret societies and stuff like this. Child, I saw it on the news, child.
What's the Von Lane bus?
Okay,
I'm
so
scared.
it's a luxury coach bus. And it runs, they are based out of Texas. But there is one that runs from Memphis to Atlanta, and there's like a route in, Memphis to Nashville. And so I took that when I went to Nashville the weekend, to memorialize Mandisa. But it's 1:30 one way. They bust you open with snacks, the whole trip. You get a meal. And I was in this special little area by myself with a conference table. So it's kind of like a VIP bus ride, or, well, like they said, a luxury bus. But a lot of people don't know about it. But it takes off, it leaves it used to be the Omni, but now it's the Hilton at, what is that, y'all? Poplar and I-40. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Von Lane.
Yeah, the Von Lane, child. VONLANE. I hope they, gone on recruit me to be.
How did you find out about it?
I saw it on the news one night. And that was a couple of years ago. And I honestly think they may have started running it during the pandemic. And maybe that's why a lot of people don't know about it. But I tell you what, it's become more popular because that bus was full from Memphis to Nashville this time.
And you enjoyed it.
Except for my little part, it was just
You
me.
had the VIP.
Child, don't tell me nothing. And then after you had your lunch, they brought you now this is it for me as a therapist, brought you a towel infused with lavender.
Okay.
Okay.
The amenities.
The amenities.
Okay.
And it's roomier than being on a regular bus, and got.
It was 1:30 both ways?
Yes.
One way.
Yes.
That
yes,
ain't bad.
1:30.
That ain't bad.
No, because if you, like I was telling people on the show, if you rent a car, you're gonna spend that.
Yeah.
So you might as if you want to relax, go on get on the bus, child. But yeah. Okay.
Von Lane.
Okay, the Sister in Success Conference. Oh, I also want to share that the title, the theme of the conference was "I'm the Woman for the Job," which I loved that, and that a lot of gems were dropped during the conference. Attorney Karla Shaw was one of the speakers.
I love Karla.
Z was one of the speakers, as well as, of course, Melody Hubbard Robinson. And a couple of thoughts that were shared. Anybody who's in purpose will experience challenges. That's most definitely true. And Karla really got me though. She's
gonna make you laugh.
She did. She did. Due season is not coming to dead soil. So we might be planting, but are we planting in the right soil? That was just it was timely. I'm gonna say it like that. And maybe one of the most important things was shared by the host, Melody Hubbard Robinson. Even her daughters will crush the head of the serpent. And what she said was, "There's some head crushers in the room." I'm a head crusher. I already know, child. Because head crushers of the serpent. And it may sound a little funny to people who maybe didn't grow up in church or haven't heard that, but we can say, wow, we can say people who bust some eggs for Jesus. That just came to me. And even as I think about John Lewis, he talked about good trouble. I mean, if we're doing the right things and on the side of right, we will experience challenges, but we come out as winners in the end. So I just wanted to share that.
So that's what a head crusher of the serpent is.
The head crusher of the serpent, yes.
Okay. Y'all going in for Jesus.
We going in.
Okay. Going in all ways.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'm a head crusher too.
Yeah, you a head crusher. Absolutely. A trailblazer. So let's get into you, honey, because your career is, I want to say your career is really taking off, but it's been taking off. But then I was excited to hear that you got back with iHeartMedia. So what's that been like to be able to rejoin that team again?
Wow. Oh, Coach Karla, it has been different because I will say, like, all these years in radio that I have been in radio as a part-timer, but people didn't know that because of technology. Because, you know, you can do a show on the weekend. People hear you on the radio. They think you're there in a full-time capacity. So this is my first contract radio gig.
Okay.
Even though I've been at about 3 different radio stations.
Okay.
But that's the business, right? So that's a blessing to be on contract. What's different is waking up early at 3:45 in the morning to be there at 5:30 a.m.
Wow.
That
I
has
didn't
been
know
a change.
That. Okay.
Yes.
Let me
Being
try.
on the air with someone else live. Mike Evans is a treat, though, because he's so great at what he does. I've learned so much since I've been there since October. It's amazing. So that's different. And just, there are not as many people there as it used to be. It used to be like a bustling 4th floor at iHeartRadio. Now it's condensed to, let's just say, maybe under 20 sales reps, maybe 10 on-air talents in the building.
Okay, yeah.
Just because of, you know, I guess efficiency and companies downsizing and technology. Because technology has definitely changed the game.
Okay.
So it has been good, though. It has been good.
It sounds like it, but I didn't know you was having to get up at 3:45 a.m.
3:45. Trying to
I've
look
done
like
that.
something like early in the morning. It's hard on a head crusher.
It's a ponytail. It's definitely a ponytail moment. It's definitely a giving ponytail.
I need to invest in some ponytails.
Yes,
Do you hear
ma'am.
me? Because we will bun it out often. We will bun it out often. I was saying that, you know, I'm on TikTok, so I'm constantly scrolling, seeing these wigs that look so easy to apply. I think I need to invest. I need to do something.
Yeah, sure. I think it's good to have that option when you're famous. Look, you the celebrity child. Come on now.
Sure.
The celebrity radio personality. That's you. So do you all do video when you do the radio show? Have you all started doing some video as well?
When we do interviews, we will do the video portion, because the way that iHeart has all of their studios, like, it's streamlined across the country. All iHeart studios look the same. So they have cameras like right at the end of the microphone. So it's literally a camera in front of you at every microphone. So we'll turn it on, but Mike likes to do things with like cameras he thinks give a better shot. So we do a lot with visuals there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And so how are you working in your new role with iHeartMedia? How are you balancing that with WYXR and your other roles? How's that working out?
Okay, so let's talk about WYXR for a minute. You know, they started right at the start of COVID. That's when we went on air, right at the beginning of COVID.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yes, so that's been, what, about 3-4 years now? So I got a call from Jared Boyd, one of the program directors there, and he asked me, you know, would you like to do a show? And at that time, I wasn't at iHeart anymore.
Okay.
And I was like, sure. He was like, you can do anything you want to do. I'm like, are you serious? Anything? He was like, you can program your own show. And like, for someone that has been with a company where everything is already programmed and you're just the talent inputting your personality, that's different, right? So I did an R&B show, and they played my Verbally Effective podcast. Well, when iHeart called me, I couldn't do everything, right? It was just too much. So I let the R&B show go, and I send them my podcast, and they play it every Tuesday from 12 to 1.
Okay.
So it's very convenient. So I just send them the latest Verbally Effective podcast, and they air it every Tuesday from 12 to 1.
Okay, that's good.
And outside of WYXR, there's Casa Library. So I do all the podcast programming at Casa Library as the innovator in residence. So think about it, the show is from 6 to 10 a.m. Unless we have, you know, other interviews we need to do or any meetings, I'm out of there probably by 11:30. And so I'll set up one-on-ones with different people who would like to talk about podcasting, or my workshops are in the evening, if you've noticed. They're usually in the evening. So it works out.
Yeah, I've been running down there after work.
Yes, and I appreciate you for coming to some of the workshops. I hope you've gotten some good information.
I have, absolutely, and I need to return, and I really hate that I missed the last one. But for people who don't know, there's also a restaurant there. What's the name of the restaurant?
Dos Hermanos,
Yes.
Chef Eli.
Yes.
Check him out.
And my feelings was hurt the last time I was there because other people had crab cakes and I missed it.
Girl, you talking about the crab cakes or the salmon croquettes?
I think it was crab cakes. They told me they had crab
He has
cakes.
a 5 crab cake salad that I eat all the time, but it's Thursdays for me. The salmon croquettes with rice and fresh biscuits. Oh my God.
Ooh, okay.
Oh my,
For the
that's every
fresh
Thursday.
biscuits.
That's tomorrow.
Oh, wait a minute now. Well, listen, when is the next class gonna be? Not okay. Pod box, is that what it's called?
We're gonna have a pod box in June. I don't have
Okay.
the specific date just yet, but I will let you know so you can let your audience know. So we can get all the podcasters in Memphis together to commune, share best practices. We're gonna have an expert there to speak as well. But you know, the festival, we're gonna have our second annual podcast festival,
Yes.
September 28th.
Oh, okay. All right, that will be in September.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more with Miss Ina Esco about her career in radio and get some more details about what she does at Cosset Library.
You're talking about a good time shield. We all come on now.
Center Stage Gospel Music live from Memphis, Tennessee, featuring gospel artists from around the world. Toe-tapping, hand-clapping, down-home gospel music. Watch on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and your local Comcast. Download the SVP TV app now on your smart television and mobile device. Center Stage Gospel season premieres Sunday, 8 p.m. Central.
Hey folks, it's Issa Haddad here. I got some good news and a special invitation for you to come see me here at Sunrise, Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with new, pre-owned, and certified vehicles to choose from. I can get you finance when no one else can. Come on by, bring your family. I treat you like family. Come see me, Issa, here at the #1 dealership in the Mid-South, 4605 Houston Levy Road, Sunrise, Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with hundreds of vehicles to choose from, pre-owned, new, and certified.
Good news from Sunrise Chevrolet. Get in your new vehicle today. Come on in, ask for Issa. Bankrupt, slow pay, bad credit, it's okay. Let Issa put you in your brand new truck or car today when you shop at Sunrise Chevrolet, Collierville.
And don't forget, ask for me, Issa.
SVP, SVP TV, we're family for all your needs. SVP, SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP TV. SVP, SVP TV.
Looking for something new? We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.
SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP.
Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. What?
And we're back. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Couch Convo with Coach Karla, and we are here with our special guest for our 3rd anniversary show, Miss Ina Esco.
Hey.
She is I'm gonna call her our local radio, one of our local radio celebrities. And she's been sharing with us about her experience in radio. What made you be interested in radio in the first place?
Well, I will be honest. Growing up, I really wanted to get into news and
okay.
become a news broadcaster.
Okay.
Just watching the news as a little girl, my grandparents having the news on all the time. And when we get out of school, you know, we'll go to our grandparents' house, and of course they have it on the news. I loved Dan Rather, you know, looking at the evening news. And so I was always into the performing arts, theater arts. I was in a group called Business Professionals of America in high school, and I would enter into the speech competitions, and I would win all the time. And so I wanted to major in broadcasting, but I received a full scholarship to Lemoyne, and they didn't have a broadcasting major. So they were like, well, if you want to go to Russ College, they have a broadcasting program, but your scholarship wouldn't transfer over. And I was like, oh no, I can't do that. So luckily, while at Lemoyne College, I'm an AKA. We would have parties. One of the DJs was there, Devin Steele. I saw Devin, I was like, hey, how can I get into radio? Because I felt like that was an avenue into broadcasting. And he was like, if you're serious, come by the station and talk to the program director on Monday, which I did. And that started for me my senior year in college.
That's good.
And to this day, I am still in radio. I've done some TV as well, but radio has been my forte.
And I have told people, open up your mouth and assert yourself.
Oh, yes.
And speak for yourself, because that was how I got an opportunity to do the Black History moments with, at that time, it was Magic 101. Yep, Magic 101 back in the day. And I had a chance to talk about, I wish I had that. I know it's on tape somewhere, but I wish I could hear it now. But anyways, I had a chance to do the Black History moments, and all I did was show up at the station and ask if I could get some experience.
You have to open your mouth and really, like, with the generation coming up now, you know, they're on their phones a lot. Like, I feel like communication is so important to talk to them about face-to-face communication. I'm talking to my 18-year-old about that all the time, my 10-year-old all the time, because it is key to, you know, just getting in the door to something that you may want to do. So
it tells people a lot about whether or not they feel like you'll be able to carry whatever it is you're asking to do. Just being able to make eye contact and feeling comfortable, and the only way to do it is to do it and get that experience. Go to some classes, get out there and network. You have to do it. If you say you want to be in radio, TV, film, all the different things that we have here in Memphis, you got to get out there.
That's true.
Okay, so you've done a lot of roles in radio: producer, voiceover talent, morning show co-host, midday and weekend talent. What's been your favorite role?
Honestly, I would say I love the producer role. Okay. Because the producer role is kind of like, I would say, the mastermind behind the projects. Because the producer is going to more than likely write out the script, voice the script, and this is in radio, and put production to it. I may have to put some music or some sound effects on my voice, right? I love that creativity side. Yeah. Okay. I like the producer.
You know what? And I thought you might say that, but it does. It gives you a chance to be creative.
And that goes hand in hand with podcasting as well.
Okay. Absolutely.
With the audio.
Yeah. What do you feel like has been the most challenging part of what you've done in radio? And I should have said radio and podcasting.
The most challenging part of radio and podcasting. Let's start with podcasting. You know, podcasting hasn't been around as long as radio, right? So in 2018, when I started in podcasting, it was like I had to sell it. I had to sell it, which I did. But, you know, people like, what's this podcasting thing? Girl, I was at iHeart when I started Verbally Effective Podcast, and I remember some of the people in the building would be like, oh, you working on your little podcast again?
See, I don't like that.
Because people did not put enough stock in it just then. But those same people eventually had to start their own podcast, right? So it was really like a sell to why this is important, a sell to attain sponsors, which I wrote it out and we still here. And we're flourishing on the podcast side. Some of the biggest challenges in radio is that it's a male-dominated industry. When I entered into radio, I'm talking about nothing but men, right? And being the only woman in the room sometimes can feel a little bit isolating, right? But I will say, as of 2024 at iHeartRadio, we have so many women in leadership positions, which is something different and which is something great that I like to see. Because it's something that I can attain to outside of being an on-air talent, right? That I can maybe segue or transition into a leadership role on the corporate end.
Okay. Awesome. What do you feel like is the key to either the key to your success or the key to longevity, your longevity in the radio industry?
I would say I have always been a person that have kind of stayed in my lane as it relates to broadcasting, right? I've tried many things under the broadcasting umbrella, but I knew that at my heart, I love broadcasting, whether it's radio, whether it's podcasting, whether it's television. And always reinventing myself. Like when I started Verbally Effective Podcast, it was out of a need for my voice to be heard outside of doing my show on the weekend on K97 or V101, right? Okay. Also, I would say the key to longevity is being consistent. You know, we kind of talked about that earlier. I applauded you for your success on being so consistent and putting this content out. Everybody not doing that, Coach Karla. Like, consistency is key. I tell, you know, the people that come to the workshops, like, if you say you're going to publish your podcast weekly, it needs to be every week at the same time. Set that appointment so people know when they can come and get your work. Like, that's the only way that not the only way, but that is a good way to build your audience, right?
Right.
To build your brand.
Right.
So I say consistency is definitely important.
Okay. All right. Y'all heard that. And I mean, that goes for anybody who's building their brand, anybody who's trying to make a name for themselves in social media. Just a consistency is a good
consistency.
Yeah.
And don't give up. Just don't give up. You got to keep at it, because you never know that one day you decide not to post, you could have missed out on 50 new followers, honey.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about what makes a great show, because it has been 3 years since Couch Convo with Coach Karla has been either on radio or TV. In your opinion, and let me say this too. I started off as a 15-minute show on the weekend with WABN The Trend. And then I had an opportunity with Bumpin' 96.3 to make it an hour show. And so, and of course now we're doing TV. What, in your opinion, makes a great show?
Okay, so I feel what makes a great show is doing your homework, show prep, being prepared for your show, right? Not just coming on your show and speaking off the cuff. You definitely have to do some prep, just so you can feel comfortable when you're ready to go live and start the show. Like, people can tell if you just got up there and just went, you know, we just gonna roll with it today. No, we're not. We're not. Definitely show prep. I think also what makes a great show is being unapologetically yourself.
Okay.
Being authentic. It's going to, you know, really spill through to your audience if you're being relatable, if you're being yourself. If you're trying to be somebody else, I think that's very apparent and obvious.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Being transparent to your viewers is very important.
Absolutely, and I agree with everything that she said. I never thought about trying to be somebody else.
But guess what? Haven't you seen a show and they giving you
somebody
else?
Vibes? Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah,
and then you know they say what is the term mimicking is a form of flattery. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's basically it. What is that word? Copying. Copying is a form of flattery, yeah.
Yeah, but how long you gonna do that?
I don't know now. But you know, that is an interesting conversation. So I totally agree with and understand what you're saying. But one of the things that happens if we're thinking about music and movies and TV shows, that's what they do. It's like, for the most part, whatever is popular, especially some TV shows, it's like they try to just piggyback off of what's already been done. And maybe that applies to bigger, like the bigger name studios and not the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can do that, but please give me something different. If you're gonna use that template, give me something different though. Like put your own spin on it.
Yeah.
You know, own it. Let me know it's yours.
Okay. Wow. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if everybody knows how to do that. Okay. I mean, people. That's a really interesting conversation because people do copy people a lot.
And maybe they need to do that to learn. Okay, I got it. But
okay.
who are you at the end of the day?
And you know what? And a lot of people don't know who they are.
That is true as well.
They
Gotta find themselves.
So, and I'm gonna put this pin right there. If you know you can't answer, and I'm saying basic questions, what do you like? Who are you? You might need to go to therapy. That's one of the things that you can achieve in therapy with a therapist is getting to the bottom of the answers to those questions.
Come and see Coach Karla.
You can see Coach Karla or, you know, come on, www.coachkarla.com. I accept most major insurances, Cigna, Blue Cross Blue Shield. I've never done this pitch for myself on this show.
Why not?
I don't know.
This is a part of you, Coach Karla. I might have a couple clients already for you.
Okay,
honey.
well, come on now. I do virtual therapy. I don't have an office, but that may change in the near future. So
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
Yes.
Okay, so we talked about your opinion about having a great show. One of the things that I like about Memphis is Memphis seems to be growing in the area of entertainment, the arts. How do you feel like radio or even podcasting is helping to add to that landscape?
Okay, let's start with podcasting. One of the reasons why I started Verbally Effective because I wanted to highlight all of these amazing people at the intersections of art, culture, politics, and entertainment that were making an impact in the Memphis community.
Yeah.
So definitely what I'm doing with Verbally Effective is key because it's reaching those people in Memphis, right? But it's not just Verbally Effective. There are so many podcasters here in the city of Memphis that are highlighting amazing people here in the city. Also in radio, when they approached me about coming to do the morning show, they said that Memphis is a market that really is loyal to their radio stations, right? You got your WDIAs, your Hallelujah FMs, V101, K97. There's a loyal listenership. So they wanted to be more community focused.
Okay.
So that means Mike and I are not only just, you know, going through our segments on the show, but we're having guests that are making an impact in Memphis on the show to highlight them as well.
Okay.
So I think that, you know, we're doing our part from a community perspective to highlight those in Memphis that you need to know about, right? And on such a big scale because iHeartRadio has over, let's just say V101 alone, over 100,000 watts. Like that's massive. So the reach is there. We can reach more people here in the city and beyond.
Beyond. Okay. All right. Break that down for people when you say 100,000 watts. What does that mean for people who don't?
So like the satellite signal, right? You do have stations that may be under 20,000 watts compared to 100,000 watts.
Okay.
So let's just say if it's 20,000 watts, maybe it's in the downtown perimeter and it's only reaching downtown area.
Okay.
But if you're at 100,000 watts, we're going to Arkansas, Mississippi. We're
okay.
extending out.
Yeah, okay. All right. And so while she's talking about that, y'all, this show reaches 5 or 6 different states in the southern region.
Come on, 5 or 6 different states.
Keep that in mind as entrepreneurs who need to advertise your business, and send me an email so you can advertise on the Couch
got that
Convo with
reach.
Coach Karla show. Yeah,
got the
absolutely.
reach.
And I've had several guests who have come from other states to be on the show. And I want y'all Memphians to stop letting people from outside of Memphis and outside the state of Tennessee beat y'all to y'all own TV station. Come on down here to SVP TV and get you some of this TV airtime. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit. I loved your answer to the question as we talked about how the landscape of Memphis is changing. I also want to get in a little bit of what's going on in the news right now, especially with you being a radio personality. Now, there's a beef going on between Drake and somebody.
And somebody.
I mean, I really, is it Quavo?
Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, the beef between Drake. Look, I can't keep up with all of this. I really don't know
One of my favorite rappers.
I
Kendrick
don't
Lamar.
know what's going on. I
Well,
just
let me
know
tell you, honey.
it's just, I've seen the memes making fun of Drake, and that's all I've seen. I don't know what's going on. Tell me.
Okay, so I'm just gonna give you high level. Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef is reaching astronomical levels. But it all began because Drake started dissing Kendrick for the longest, and Kendrick never said anything.
Okay.
And did I say Kendrick Lamar is like my favorite
You
rapper?
did.
I
you
like
did.
Drake too,
Okay.
but Kendrick is my fave.
Okay.
Okay, so Kendrick finally responded,
Ooh.
and he cut deep. When I say he cut deep, he called Kendrick a pedophile. He talked bad about his mama, his daddy, his son. I'm talking about he cut deep. He went below the belt. He exposed things that we never knew whether they were true or false. But this is the rap game. This is rap beef. So Drake responded, was saying, you don't know my business, blase, blase.
Lord.
Then Kendrick drops a West Coast banger called Not Like Us, which I play in my car every morning. Still on Drake, but still on it.
Okay.
But guess what happened yesterday?
Okay, I'm listening.
Somebody shot the security guard at Drake's home in Toronto.
Oh, wow. I did see
Now,
that.
does that have anything to do with Kendrick? It may not. Could it be a crazy fan? I don't know. We don't know what it is. But what I don't like is that happened. Like, how did it get to this? I don't know if it's relatable to the beef or not, but it kind of gives you those East Coast, West Coast vibes back with Biggie and Tupac. And I don't like that. I don't want it to get to where people are getting shot and things like that.
Oh gosh, I did see that, and I think that was what made me kind of tune in to what was going on.
But Kendrick won.
Okay, I mean, I believe you on that. I'm gonna have to take your word for it because I got to go do some research now because I didn't know what was going on.
Yes.
I just saw a meme that was supposed to be Drake with some barrettes in his hair, and I ain't know what
they
that.
on Kendrick bad, and you know, I'm sorry, they're on Drake bad, and you know Drake daddy from Memphis.
Right,
They
absolutely.
on Daddy Drake bad, real bad.
And they was talking about the light skinned men. We got to jump up. We got to bulk up. Drake wake up. I saw all that, and I was like, what? What's going on?
Oh my.
Okay, but so
Hit
okay.
below the belt. They
Now-
said, you know, Drake like the young girls, the little teenager girls.
Oh, I don't think that's.
They said he
okay.
got the fake abs.
Okay, fake abs.
He got a
Well,
BBL.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially for a man. Men don't really like to be talked about in that way. I don't know what it is, but they're very sensitive about their butt, and then everybody else knows what the other thing
Right.
that they're really sensitive about.
He didn't talk about that. But you do know who Sexy Red is, right?
I do.
So Sexy Red and Drake, like, they collab a lot. And Kendrick made a comment about that was not very becoming. So Yeah, it's gotten ugly, but this whole shooting thing, I don't like it. I don't like it.
That's not good. And I mean, it's violence, whether it was related or not. I hope it's not related to the beef
I
that's
hope it's
going
not.
on with them. But to be honest, kind of like most likely it is. What do you think? I mean,
I don't think Kendrick is crazy enough to call a hit on him.
oh no.
But let's just say diehard fans that like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna go and get Drake and end up shooting a security guard. I don't know. I don't know. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. I'll leave it at diehard fans, allegedly. Yeah, because I was gonna say something else and I can't say that.
Uh-oh.
But, whoo, child, let's do this right here. Look, I posted on my page today that I am tired of. At first, I said, church people. I'm tired of hearing about church people being mean to other people on social media. But I'm gonna change it to church leaders. I'm tired of hearing about church leaders being mean. But this has reference to Reverend Keon Henderson at a church service. There was and I watched that part.
I saw it.
There was a young woman who was in the choir on the behind the pastor. I'm trying to paint the picture for people who might not necessarily go to church, and then we got all these different church configurations now. So, but people were worshiping. Now, when we're worshiping, we've got our hands up, and some people might be speaking in tongues, or you're calling on the name of the Lord, or Jesus, or saying whatever it is that you need to say. And she was louder than other people, and then he said, "Hush." I'm gonna tell you. I'm just gonna go and tell you right now. I don't like how he did it. I'm just gonna tell you. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, ma'am. And I saw his explanation along with his wife on the Tamron Hall show. And he did mention that this has been an ongoing problem with this particular young lady. I got a couple of things. If it's been an ongoing problem, why was she up there at all? Because if it's been an ongoing problem, then she should be on some sort of a sit down probation or something.
Do
okay?
they do that in church?
Yes, ma'am. They put people out of church. What you talking about?
For that?
Well, I don't know what they put them out for, child.
Okay.
It's a long list. I mean, as a therapist, I know a long list of stuff that people. I mean, look. Oh, that's a whole nother subject.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay, so. And it was okay. If I'm worshiping, and I mean, I grew up in church, know what it is to worship and all the good stuff. So if I'm worshiping and she's loud, I'm not pointing to Ina, and she's loud, it's not gonna affect if I'm really into what I'm doing, that's not gonna keep me from worshiping if she loud.
I think that Pastor Keon is somewhat of a narcissist, and he wants all the attention on him. And I honestly think that this may be a PR stunt to get him more attention on him and his preaching at his church.
Okay.
Even his relationship with Shawnee came out of nowhere, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like,
I can
PR stuntish vibes.
Okay. And I wondered how, and I don't live over there where they live, and I don't know them, but I did wonder how that materialized.
Okay.
You know, between Pastor Keon, who's way up here in the rafters somewhere.
And he's had quite the scandals.
Oh, for real? Okay. I see. I don't even know.
Quite
about
the
all
scandals.
that. Okay.
And a lot of that came out when him and Shawnee hooked up.
Oh.
So it was very interesting to me, the whole union.
And let me go back to it was mean.
Yeah, it was very rude.
And also I'm coming up with scenario after scenario of a different way it could have been handled. What was wrong with asking the ushers to, escort her to somewhere else so that she could be ministered to? I mean, it's just
because he wanted to trend like he's trending. You see how the result of that got them on the Tamron Hall show to talk about it?
It did. And
that's not going to be the last stop.
Well, okay. And I mean, I can see what you're saying, and people do these things, okay. But it's negative attention. I'm not finna come to your church.
But he was very, I would say, very adamant about how he felt. He gave the example. What was the example he gave? If trying to think of the example. It made sense, but basically he was like, "This my show, and you got to go."
Did he say something? Did he say something very similar to that?
Yes.
I'm so glad that you used the term narcissist, child.
He's something else because he's had quite a few things that have trended from his sermons. But then again, I'm seeing a lot of that with pastors online. A lot of these pastors, I'm seeing trending.
Thank you.
So is that the new thing?
I don't know. Listen. Well, first of all, I don't think it's the new thing in terms of character that I've seen in church. And I mean, that's even my personal experience. And we're going to call it what it is. It's church trauma. A lot of people have experienced church trauma to the level of Minister Karla, therapist Karla, I'm never ever going back to church again. And I understand that. I often don't tell people that I'm a minister because they do not want to see me for therapy once they find that out.
Why?
Because they have been hurt that bad in church.
Ministers.
Yes. Pastors or ministers or church leaders. Or they felt like the church leaders did not handle whatever it was that was going on in the right way. And so it's
Have
weird.
you seen that in the church? Is that a whole other show?
That's a whole nother show.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I sure have.
Wow.
But so you haven't. And okay. Well, child, I done got the card telling me we got just a few minutes left, child.
This been a good show, girl.
Look, we were just gonna get into it. But I definitely am going to do a show on church trauma. It's needed. And I'm probably gonna eventually do a group for clients on church trauma, which actually was something that before I even became a licensed therapist, it was something that I was doing within the community. But we gotta stop playing. I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't understand. I know people make mistakes, but the way we carry ourselves, and particularly the way we carry ourselves on social media, that's gonna determine whether a lot of people know God or not. And so you
said a
it's
word
not
right
something.
there.
It's really not something we want to play with.
And social media has just changed, I would say, every industry, every corner of the earth at this point.
That's true.
So,
That's very true.
yeah.
Well, we have enjoyed having you tonight
have
on the
enjoyed
Couch
you.
Convo with
This
Coach
has been
Karla
fun.
show. We got look. Let me just cut my little self off. We got into some